I'm Ryan Henrich. I'm the Director of Security Solutions here at RapDev. Our security practice is oriented around fundamentally two things. We either help from a professional services standpoint, so we help with migrations or growth strategies or policy building, or we have our managed detection and response practice, our managed SOC practice. When we think about developing a security practice, we really want to think about it in stages. So the first thing that we really need to do is we need to bring all the logs, all the data into one place. So whether it's your cloud native resources, your compute resources, your employee endpoints, we need to get all of that data flowing into one place. Once it's there, we need to find a way to build good detections on it so that we know what's happening, when it's happening across, all of our environments. So we need to build correlations and good detections. And then from a maturity perspective, we really want to focus on how do we take that data and go and be actionable in the environment. So what can we go and automate in order to reduce our mean time to remediation and deliver a better security outcome to our stakeholders. One of the biggest benefits that we see when we're helping customers migrate their security practices onto the Datadog platform is marrying all the data, having it live all in one place. So one of the biggest shifts that we've seen from a security exposure is that dev and ops teams are more and more responsible for the underlying infrastructure, and they're more and more responsible for actually the remediation from a security risk perspective. And so by being able to meet our partners in DevOps where they live, right? They're already living at a Datadog. All their infrastructure and monitoring is already in Datadog. By being able to migrate and merge the security signals with the data that they already have, we're able to drive much quicker remediation. We're able to have a more cohesive security practice with our partners. And the hardest thing from security generally is good detections. And so it's really easy to build detections that are very noisy and thus don't provide value. And it's really easy to build detections that don't catch everything that you want and thus provide very little value. And so finding that middle ground is the absolute hardest thing to do. And it's something that you sort of have to continually chase. And rule building is not like a point in time. You don't build it once and be done with it. It's an ongoing engagement. So you have to be always looking at your raw log sources. You always have to be looking at the data set itself so that you can continually build and tune. Now, with that, one of the biggest benefits that we have in the Datadog platform is, not only having all that data in one place, but also Datadog has taken advantage of being that centralized source of data to go and build some machine learning and early detections, where Datadog has done a really good job of becoming a warning system to say like, hey, this stitched sets of actions, we've never seen this before. And so somebody should look at that. And so when you think about detections from a security perspective, if fundamentally you could be alerted every single time something new in your environment happened, then you would be able to catch every single security incident forever. Now, the practical application of that is very difficult. And so we have to take a bridge approach. We have to both look at a policy-based engine and a detections engine. And then we also want this kind of machine learning anomaly engine. And so having that in one place is incredibly valuable. When we're thinking about how, guiding somebody on the maturity journey, we really want to start with, centralizing all that data in one place. And so when we start engagements, we want to say, okay, what are currently generating security signals in your environment? So some of it is going to be your employee endpoints. Do you have an EDR tool? Some of it is going to be, where does your data live? What is your database or your data warehouse? There's going to be a log there that we want to get centralized. There's going to be, are you using AWS, Azure, GCP? Is everything deployed on-prem, right? There's going to be some sort of a configuration somewhere. Do you have WAFs? Things like that. And so kind of the very beginning of the journey is we need to identify everything that we have. We have to have a good understanding of our architecture so that we can pull all that data in first. Once we're there, that's a great start. But fundamentally, from a security perspective, we haven't really done a lot. All we've done is we've pulled data in. Now we need to build good detections, and we need a good process to do that. And so Datadog has, a big set of out-of-the-box rules, policies, and queries that can be very helpful. But, everybody's environment is unique. And so, kind of stage 2 of the journey is not just leveraging the out-of-the-box policies. It's looking at, how do we use Snowflake or how do we use EKS? And does Datadog have a policy that kind of covers all of our corner cases? And the answer is always going to be no. There's no vendor that does. So we need to go and build good correlations and good detections in order to make sure that we've covered that. And then we need to, that last kind of stage of the journey is scale. And there's no end to that. We can never finish security. There's no finish line. But what we really want to focus on is how do we reduce our mean time to detection? How do we reduce our mean time to remediation? And so this is where we can really leverage automation. And so we can go and build out for X, Y, or Z detection. If this ever fires, we want to do this thing. And so this is how we can start automatically quarantining systems. We can start automatically taking down resources that are built inappropriately. And so that's kind of the stage that we want to get to, and we can scale from there. The practice that we built here at RapDev is we run a 24/7 security operations center for our customers. So we have a managed SOC, which we plug into the customer's instance of Datadog. So we build everything that we build is in the customer's instance. So, if we decide to work together on this and we plug in RapDev's managed SOC, everything that we build, whether it's a detection or a correlation or a rule or a dashboard or a report, is yours. It's yours to own long term. And that gives us the ability to go and fundamentally drive your security strategy forward. We then own the investigation side of the house. We're in your instance of Datadog investigating signals, correlations, alerts, everything that we can see on a 24/7 basis so that we can help surface any breaches to your team, which is where we want to get your security and your ops folks plugged in to go and quarantine or remediate as quickly as possible.